Good morning, my YouTube family. How are you today? I just picked up 2 curbside deliveries. The first home is going 5.8 miles. The total mileage is 7 combined with both homes. And let's get this delivered. Okay, that first delivery was smooth sailing. I saw a dog on the street. There was a big dog on the street. It's the first time I saw a loose dog on a random street. Like sometimes people might have their own personal dog on their property and I have to call them. You know, most people lock their dog up put their dog away. Before they know, before the delivery. They know they have someone arriving. But this was a loose dog on the street. And I had my good old mace. My daughter bought it for me. And she's like, Mom, you need this when you're out. And I've had mace before, but, leaving it in your bag and going through TSA and you just forget and it gets thrown out. So I've had mace. I got another one. But I just kept looking. Where did he go? Where did he go? But he was a wandering dog, just a loose dog. So, but anyway, that was the first time. Everything worked out well. I'm headed to deliver the second one. All right, y'all. I parked cannot find this house. And I passed one house and I said, let me turn around and just redo the directions. Because there was a whole bunch of Confederate flags. And I said, let me get my butt out of here. But anyway, I got to try to find this place. It's my bag this way. Okay, so I finished the deliveries to the 2 homes. It came up to $15.98. Standard base curbside pickup is $7 for 1 home. When you see it says 3 stops, the first stop is Walmart. So you're going to pick up at Walmart and then it has 2 homes, so that made 3 stops, right? So, but really it's 2 stops that I'm going to 2 different homes. Standard curbside is $7, which means if I have 2 homes, it should be $14. 7 times 2 is 14. Simple math. Walmart started it off with $13 because they like to play those games and they know that there are some people that will accept that or don't know base pay apparently, or the newbies or whatever, right? So it sat around because that's old seasoned ones, we know. It sat around for a good while, and they finally bumped it up from the $13, 13 and change again. Then it finally went to $14. Okay, eventually it ended up being $15.98. The tips was $1.58. I don't know why people don't like to tip. I have not a clue why people don't like to tip, and they're having deliveries delivered so early in the morning on a Saturday morning, right? But that's up to us if we're going to accept it or not. Walmart bumps up the fee if no one takes it. It ended up being $15.98. They could have added in the other 2 pennies, but you know, it was 7 point whatever miles it was to get to. Wasn't far at all. Not a lot of groceries. I made 2 trips to the car on that second one because I just wanted to get out of there. They didn't have a driveway. It was just a mess of gravel, right? And nowhere to really turn around. I had to turn around on the grass, and I just wanted to get out of there. I wasn't going to spend the extra time at that house getting my cart out and getting those things. It just would have took longer. I just grabbed that bag and then came back and got the other few items. And that's why I didn't get my cart. It made sense to make 2 trips. I wanted to get out of there. That whole little area, that I made the wrong turn, went down a block, and I went down there. The GPS was off a little bit, right? Because it was a corner house. And the GPS has a tendency with corner houses to get them confused. Old neighborhood, there was no street sign. So it was hard and challenging to find that individual's house. But I made an educated guess just based on the number that was on the door. And, just trying to look at the map without names of a street, but at any route, it worked out. But it was signs all over the place. It was Ku Klux Klan signs and stuff. Listen, I needed to get out of there. There was Confederate flags all over the place. Okay, the X's and all of that stuff, or I don't know whatever. Listen, I needed to get out of there, so I did. I got out of there. I turned around and go down the other block. Then I see Black Lives Matter all over that person's house. So I said, you know, I got to get out of here. So I just hurry up and grabbed those groceries, delivered it to that person's house. And we're in the deep, deep South, and that's just that. But they were delivered. I got my little $15.98. I picked up this was a 7:15 a.m. pickup. I picked this order up at 7:15 a.m. and I was out of their parking lot by like 7:20 something, and I would have been done. I was finished at 7:50. I was back in my car and pulled out of her driveway by 7:50. I would have been finished before that, so it took no time. It took no time at all. But curbside is I really prefer a shop and deliver. They pay more, but early in the morning, you know, Walmart will go up faster. They will go up. They will increase the offer faster because they want to get those items delivered. Because a lot of times they're items from last night that no one picked up. So I said, let me get this. Let me pick it up. I got that. I got out of there. And that was the end of that. So thanks for riding with me. But this is the truth and the realness on what goes on when we are delivering. Have a wonderful day.